Welcome back to the All Things Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Julian. I'm here with my co-host today, Rios, joined by Rios. It's been a minute since I had him on the show, since you guys seen him. So I appreciate him giving some time and stopping by today to chop it up with me. How you doing, bro?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. It's been a big, interesting,
Yeah,
to say the least, interesting sports week post Super Bowl weekend. So
yeah. I think post Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, All-Star weekend, we got a couple storylines to talk about tonight to cover. But I'm excited, man. This is the All Things Sports Podcast. Like I said, we bring you the real in sports. And I love when Rios joins because obviously as listeners, you guys know we have a big family here at the All Things Sports Podcast. And if you're like a super listener from back in the day, like Nate Perk, you know what I'm saying, Jay Boogie, we had Danny. You've seen Antoine and Don was on here a couple times throughout the times. And now we got some newer faces like Kev and Rios, man. And I'm just excited. Like, I'm always excited to talk to Kev because me and Kev have like a relationship where we kind of just get each other and things just flow when it comes to like intricacies of sports talk. But Rio's what excites me about talking to you, man, it's like, one, I kind of don't never really know what I'm gonna get, and I know I'm gonna get some crazy shit. I know you're gonna respect the platform, but you're gonna bend
oh yeah,
the
listen, we
boundary,
gotta listen. So we can't we sometimes you just can't beat around the bush, and you got to say what it is.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the type of person I've always been.
And
So
shout out to EP, man. EP's doing well for anybody
yeah,
wondering, man.
whoa, shout
EP's
out
doing
EP,
more than
man.
well.
Shout out EP, man.
Like he says, we're gonna bring you guys the real in sports, and that's one of the biggest things that or like monikers that has stuck with me with this podcast, because that's the goal here. We talk all day, and we can scream and shout and say something to make someone turn their head, but I'd rather have a more a conversational based program going on where I'm also informing the viewers and the listeners and things of that nature. So with all that being said, man, we got a list. I had a paper. I wrote down a bunch of shit. Misplaced the paper since then, but I know where I want to start. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. Over the past weekend, fans have come out and tried to out one of the greatest basketball players of this generation or all time, Kevin Durant, for having a burner account. And this isn't like breaking news. Like, we know Kevin Durant is working burner Twitter, right? And if you have, shout out to those that got the burner. You know what I mean? Like, if you know, you know. But you got to look at that top left and see what circle is showing, what profile picture showing before you post any tweets. If you gotta, because I think Anthony Edwards believed that Jack, which is like his Finsta, but he kind of wants to deny it. It's pretty obvious. He went live on that Finsta over the weekend, and we saw that it was Anthony Edwards. But yeah, talk to me about what you think with this whole Kevin Durant saga. We're seeing tweets about Warriors players from back in the day. We're seeing tweets about current Rockets players and coaching and how things are going. Some people are speculating that this is all hoopla and it's BS, and I could see that. But I also want to just like have the fun with it and just like let's make it be real for a second. What is Kevin Durant doing?
I mean, Kevin Durant's just doing Kevin Durant things. I feel like that. Like at this point, I kind of feel like this is his persona. Like ever since he's left Golden State, and I mean ever since he's joined Golden State, right? And the way he's joined Golden State, right? People on the internet they just said the worst, like I say the most asinine things about Kevin Durant, because we know what he is on the basketball court, right? He's arguably a top 20 basketball player of all time. You can put him in that 20, wherever you want to rank him, right? I think he's in the top 20, right?
I'm putting him in that 20, probably 15.
Right, which is fair, right? So now when we look at NBA personalities as a whole, right? Like, we have the Birds, right? We have the Magics, we have the Jordans, right? The Kobes and the LeBrons, right? So all five of those guys that I've mentioned, right? They're really more so, it's more so like they have a mystique about them, You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like there's a some sort of mystical, like not fictional basis to their story and to their upbringing, and also to their basketball games too. Like, like the way we talk about, Magic's triple double game in the finals, right, is the same way we
Yeah.
talk about Bird's left-handed game. So it's like those things have their allure to them. Same with
Right.
Jordan, right? Now Kevin Durant, although he's had some moments, I think he has playoff moments, and I think he's had some iconic moments in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
What he's really known for, right, besides, his offensive prowess, is what? Leaving one of the greatest young
Unfortunately.
cores in NBA history, right, to front run, right, and to join, a loaded team, right, that lost, in the finals. So it's like you have that going on. So I feel like that's always followed him. And then plus you have the whole Brooklyn situation with Kyrie and James Harden, right?
Yeah.
And that whole Nets, big three situation, which granted wasn't his fault, right? You had that collapse, right? Then after that, he gets traded to Phoenix, right? The situation in Phoenix doesn't work out, right? So you have that form, right? So now people just have this, this thought of KD, of just him being a front runner and leaving things and leaving people high and dry,
Yeah.
right? So that's really his moniker and his legacy towards for the NBA casual, right? Now, him with these burner accounts and all that stuff, and him talking about him talking about former players. I
Yeah.
mean, listen, is he wrong if you watch basketball from an X's and O's perspective? No, I don't think so. I mean, what he said about Steph Curry with the Michael Irvin meme. I'm sorry, Michael Irvin addressing that might have been the funniest thing I've seen all week. That really might have been the funniest thing all week. But him addressing the Steph Curry thing, I mean, it's also kind of true. I mean, look at Kaminga.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
there is some truth to what he's
No, I
saying.
mean, look, like at the end of the day, but that's not the thing though. Like, we're not looking for just the truth.
Right.
Obviously, we would
We're not.
love to hear
But it's
the
also how
truth.
you went about it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, it's like talking behind people's back, if true, and as much as like I could see the wrong in that and like the immaturity in that, like we're all also human, right? And I feel like it happens way more times than not. And whether whoever's listening right now wants to like have this like, nah, I would never, and that's fine.
It's
If
not
you
true.
personally would never, if you wouldn't, maybe, but don't think even your friends and the people closest to you don't move similar to this. And
Right, because it's kind of it's you got to look at it like workplace stuff, right? Like
exactly, like bro,
you have to look at it
we
like we're in
come
the
to
work.
we come and talk shit about
Right, like
work to like our close friends. You know what I mean?
right versus like talking shit via Slack message versus
Right.
talking shit via someone via
Exactly. Or like at the office,
iMessage.
like in the break room, or like,
Right,
you're
right.
just
There's
face to
just
face.
a different type of dialect and different type of dialogue that goes on in each of these different spaces. So I kind of feel
Yeah.
like that's what's taking place with Kevin Durant. The only thing that was annoying with the Kevin Durant stuff was the whole drone situation. Now, I mean, granted, right? We
Yeah.
always want to say what keep politics out of sports, right? And although politics and sports intertwine, because sports are a microcosm of society, right? Which we all know, right? So, and especially what's going on with the whole Israel-Palestine conflict, right? People are very sensitive towards that subject, right? So, and this is just for All-Star Weekend as a whole, because if we looked at it, just with that whole situation as a whole, right? Which segues into that, which is perfect segue into that. Yo, good job, Drew. That was beautiful, right? If we have to stop, I mean, I'm not going to say we have to stop asking athletes about political questions, but I think that era of like political activist athlete, I think it's over.
Hmm.
I truly think it's over in this generation, and I won't say we know. I kind of know, we kind of know who's to blame in that case, right? And
Who would you say?
I'd say LeBron.
Okay.
I'd say LeBron just because of the fact of the matter is that to me, he's the biggest outside of Tiger Woods, right? Outside of Tiger Woods, he's the biggest polarizing African American athlete that we have in this country, maybe in the world,
Yeah.
right? So if he were to take a stance of some sort against the grain politically, right? I don't think the powers that be, right, they would attack him for it, yes. But I think that he has such a strong base within his own community that we would uplift him anyway, you know? So that's the whole situation with Muhammad Ali. That's how he was able to get by. Although financially he took a big hit, right? Black people still revered him. They still loved him. So it's
Right.
like they didn't turn their back on him. So I feel as if if LeBron were to take that similar stance to a somewhat political to somewhat a political stance that that's affecting all walks, right, of the political landscape right now, whether you want to attack it from the Epstein stuff to the president stuff, right, to what's going on in Israel and Palestine again, right? You you taking a stance or you even speaking up about it or saying, hey, this is my real stance, whether you are on whatever side you oppose, right? Just being able to at least be somewhat informed, right? And not give some sort of vague answer, right? To protect your brand, right? It's also it's kind of it moves the playing field backwards, I think. And it moves the ideology of being speaking out on things as an African American athlete. I
Right.
feel as if it kind of it waters it down
Yeah. Yeah.
completely,
Definitely.
completely, completely 100%. So it's like when you're asking these athletes about these questions politically, right? I feel like we have to just stop at this point, at this juncture now, knowing who the athletes are. You kind of just have to pick and choose who to ask that question to now.
I also think though that we're at a time in sports and sports media. Um, it's just like the game. It's the game within the game, and uh, like the guys that you are telling okay or asking questions to, I should say, aren't maybe necessarily the guys that you should be asking questions to. And now I will say, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, like these are definitely players we should be asking these questions to. However, um, the new generation that we're in with the younger guys in the league, I feel like the media knows what to say and how to get maybe an answer that isn't the most favorited,
Right. Because either way, like you said, right, and like what you said, no one's gonna be satisfied with whatever answer.
Yeah.
One group's gonna be
Yeah.
dissatisfied, and one
Yeah.
group's gonna be satisfied.
And so like when you say, we're at the juncture that we need to, I guess, cut the politics and sports, or like media should kind of like back off when it comes to, you know, presenting questions or topics to athletes about such strong situations. I think that I don't know. I'm indifferent. Like, I don't think that the media should stop asking questions.
Oh no, I'm not saying they shouldn't stop asking. I'm saying giving certain athletes track records,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Just giving certain athletes track records. I kind of think you nowadays you kind of have to pick and choose because for example, right, the whole Spike Lee issue, right, with him wearing the Palestine sash across his chest, right? How much of a big deal that was in the sports world, right?
Yeah.
And granted, he's probably the most famous sports superfan in the world,
Yeah.
I'd say. So just the fact of the matter is you have that causing such an uproar within the sports world in itself, right? Within the sports media world in itself, right? That's also part of it too. So it's kind of like there is a double standard too, because especially with media now too, because you kind of have like with the same with I heard on the Levitard show, it was expressed best too, right? Like there was a clip on the Levitard show where they were talking about the Boomer Esiason situation with Spike Lee, right? About him.
No, I don't know about that one.
Oh wow, you did. Okay, so
this is like years back, or this is
this happened.
Oh,
on Tuesday.
Oh, put me on.
So on the Dan Lep, they were talking about how there's this somewhat sort of double standard on the political stances in sports now, right? To whereas if you have the rise of white conservative media in sports now, right? Yeah. So and these takes, right? So to where like these takes are just being spewed. There's no backlash for them, right? So that was one of the main points that that I forgot the guy on the Levitard show. He brought that up when it came up to Spike Lee and saying how, why should anyone call for Spike Lee to be banished from MSG for wearing a stash when you're taking a political stance on something else anyway?
Right.
So it kind of shows the double standard of just where we are as a country. But also too, it's what political ideology are you going to stand with and what's going on currently at this current juncture. So it's like you have
what administration is
right. So it's like you have if you don't align with the administration's ideology, right, then that's okay for you to speak on, right? But if you're against it, then it's like, we need to like banish them and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that's where the double standard lies. So that was the main point that the guy on the Levitard show brought up, which was very alarming to me, which also was like very like hits the hammer, hits the
right on the head.
So it's like that's the main thing. So it's like that was the main thing, especially with the whole All-Star weekend. That was the whole undertone of it too. Granted, great weekend minus the slam dunk contest, but the whole
minus Jackson Hayes' fucking performance.
That was awful, right? Minus he needs to be banned from the All-Star game too. We you know what? We'll do that next. We'll do who needs to be banned from the All-Star game because I shout out Adam Silver, but we'll segue into that in a little bit. But I feel as if that was the main that was a dark cloud surrounding All-Star weekend.
Yeah.
You would have thought it would have been Treegate with Kawhi Leonard. You would have thought it would have been the Kevin Durant Twitter burner stuff. But no, it was athletes' political ideologies that was the main thing on Twitter.
Do you think if Denny Advia wasn't invited to All-Star Weekend, it would be so centered around that? I mean, I think it would.
Honestly, no. That's a good question.
He put a lot.
That is a good question.
He put a lot. Like, it's somebody with Israel flag on his jersey at All-Star Weekend. And here, I just want to clarify this, bro. Denny Advia, All-Star. You know what I mean?
100%.
Playing great this year.
Listen.
And is from Israel. He has his thoughts and opinions on his country. And I just don't have a problem with him putting a flag where he's representing on the back of his jersey during All-Star Weekend. Everything else, it's a conversation, and
100%.
More than willing to hear a bunch of thoughts and opinions. But
it's just the fact that the NBA, right, what we can say, right, over the last 25 years has taken somewhat this liberal approach, right, to their ideology,
for sure.
So when you see that,
LeBron James, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony,
right,
and D Wade with LeBron,
right? All meeting
with
Obama.
They had
them not going to the White House, right?
The shirts, like the shirts,
right? All of that, right?
For the game.
So the NBA, the last 25 years, I probably say post Jordan, right? They've taken this somewhat liberal approach to their ideology. Right, especially with the WNBA and all that stuff too. That's their umbrella. So it's like, and they're even more so outspoken politically. And for Title IX, which is amazing. But at the same time, right, from the powers that be, right, which is very careful, right. When we see a player like Denny Advia, right, who's so outspoken about his country, right, and we all know what goes into that especially now in this political juncture, right?
Yeah.
People are going to take offense to it, especially in a league, right, that is quote unquote, we'd say the most liberal out of
Yeah,
all
like
the major sports
free
leagues, right?
free
Out of all the
leagues.
major sports leagues but also too, it's the most visible, right?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, right,
Yeah.
it's not like the NFL. The NFL, you're hiding behind a helmet,
Yeah.
right, and shoulder pads, to where you only see this person what 3 hours a day, for 4 months out the year.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the NBA, it's a dragged out process, right? You have Team USA, right? You have, free agency, so on and so forth. So the NBA season, it's now this whole thing where it's so prolonged, and now you have social media with the height of branding yourself. So it's like the NBA is now at a crossroads to where they have to protect themselves politically, but also protect themselves financially.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at the new TV deal that took place with the NBA, right? They're at to me the NBA right now it's at its most vulnerable state.
Listen, bro, and I want you to continue, but you are literally filling in all the blanks to what we're seeing, transpire over the past maybe 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? Leading into this new CBA, because the CBA has a lot to do with it. When we're talking about financials and protecting financials and who's paying, who.
Right. So, but even still with All Star Game too, right? Like let's segue into that too. Like I want to ask you, like enough with that stuff, but the All Star Game, like what were your thoughts on the weekend as a whole, minus that stuff, but like just the slam dunk contest, the
Yeah.
3-point contest.
I think All Star Weekend was fun, right? I think that going in, the problem with us fans, whether you want to say Americans, basketball watchers, everybody that's on Twitter with an opinion, um, it was very much negative. It was just very much negative and like underwhelming thoughts going into All Star Weekend, because we've seen what we've had to sit through previous All Star weekends. We just watched the Pro Bowl, or the flag football
Like football game.
competition, and it's always the easiest thing to like hate or disagree or like throw a tomato, right? It's so easy to do that because one, they give us a reason. I'm not going to act like they don't give us a reason sometimes, but we also have to see like the good in things. You have to want to see the good in things to enjoy, and I think that Friday night, they did the celebrity game. Obviously Saturday night you got 3-point, you got skills, you got, or team Knicks, whatever that like challenge was, and then you got the dunk contest. Now, as far as how those contests, I guess, perform, once it's over, because you're not going to know until it's over, then you can place the judgment. But I think from Friday night to Saturday night leading up till the dunk contest, like, it was great. It was fun. First of all, we've had the best 3-point contest that we've seen in years, and Damian
Like
Lillard is a 3-time champion. Let's make that abundantly clear. Somebody who hasn't played in the NBA game so far. I think one of the most beautiful stories this past weekend was the fact that Damian Lillard, on a torn Achilles, being able to get an invite, just being considered by the NBA to say, hey, we know you're one of the best shooters. If you're up for it, you got a spot. And then to come and win it. It just shows like who Dame is, and it speaks to his character, to his perseverance, to, and it's one of those stories that as a kid, whether you're dealing with injury, whether you're dealing with maybe being overlooked, whatever the case is, this is a great story to like go and watch and listen to what he said after he won the award, and how he kind of repeated himself 2 times over, because I think he just felt what he felt so strongly and was so grateful for the moment to just be there, that to me, it created one of the best moments in All-Star game history, or in All-Star weekend history. No exaggeration. Dame Lillard winning his 3rd championship, 3-point championship, after not even playing because of
right.
capability. And so if you can't, what they say, if you don't like that, you don't like basketball, it's like you got to find enjoyment in things. And then so yeah, we have a lackluster slam dunk contest. You got Jackson Hayes fast
Yeah, what the
break
hell was
dunk.
that?
You got Jace
Banned.
Richardson about to catch a concussion.
Banned.
Shout out to my boy, John. You know
Yo,
what I'm saying?
yo,
Shout out to
bro,
my
my
boy,
son, dancing ass
Kishon. You
nigga.
know,
That's what I
Kishon.
call him.
Yeah, Kishon got that, man. And he a Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? So we got 2 Bay Area, you know what I'm saying, champions, dunk contest, 3-point contest. Then you got Dame Lillard saying, yo, Steph, join me and D Book next year. Like, and Clay, we're gonna get the gang for the best 3-point contest ever. So why not? Why wouldn't we be excited?
Now listen. Now this is what I want from the NBA to do. This is what I want. Now, what you could do is this, right? I would love a mixed 3-point shooting contest. Make it all the stars. So Caitlin Clark should be able to shoot.
Saying just Sabrina.
Bring Sabrina on.
Yeah.
So this will be my ideal for next year, right? You'd have Dame, you'd have Steph, you'd have Clay, you'd have D Book, right? Give me Khan, because Khan
is valid,
right?
Khan is valid.
You can give me Sabrina. You can give me Caitlin. I'll even give me D Mitch. You gotta have a front court guy. So give me Cat. Yeah, give me Cat, and then or you can give me what's the Brianna Stewart.
I'll take a Chet Holmgren. Why Chet Holmgren?
Right, or Chet Cat, right? Either
get Brianna Stewart up out of here. I ain't gonna lie.
Either one of those two, right? Or give me. Stewie.
Oh, you said shit, Stewie. Shout out to Stewie. Yo, you know what's crazy? Shout out to Stewie. I mistook her for Brittany Griner. I don't know why you said Brianna Stewart.
No, I said Stewie. I said Stewie. No. But I mean, to me, because to me, the evolution of the 3-point shot has changed the game, right? Yeah. So why not put all of them in there, make it mixed?
Yeah, because I mean, shooting, obviously,
it's a skill.
Yeah, obviously, we can't compare Steph, right? We saw that. Steph, he's in his own league. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's not a dunk contest. It's not based on athleticism. It's not based on, strength. No. It's really just pinpoint accuracy with your fundamentals. And so let me ask you this, because with the 3-point contest being what it is right now, obviously it's a men's thing. And the thing with Steph and Sabrina the other 2 years ago was actually really fun.
Right. You can right to me.
And they should definitely they should definitely expand on that idea. Because boys and girls alike across the world would, I think, enjoy that.
Timmy, come on.
If you go to school, if I was at school, bro, Con Kneppel just beat Caitlin Clark. I'm talking mad shit.
Right. Or even let's say
or vice versa.
Let's say if Caitlin Clark beats all the guys.
Yeah.
Just imagine
that's the most wild thing to think of.
Right. But it could happen.
And so I love see what he considers, but you see that NBC is pitching to the league for this 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 tournament.
Yo, listen, man, and I'll say this: 1-on-1 basketball, especially in the YouTube space, particular space, particular.
Yeah, if you know, it's some good matchups.
Shout out on the ball. Shout out funny ones too. Yeah. Shout out for the kill. Right, I'll be going to those on occasion. I would say what was the inkling of that was the New York takeover of them shutting down Gaucho's gym and what it was, right? So I feel as if the NBA guys love that one-on-one stuff because I've been in the NBA practice setting.
They love it. Here's the thing, though. I don't know that they would love it publicly.
No, the thing is this, though. Here's how you would have to do it. Here's how you would have to sell it, right? $1 million.
Yeah.
Put a mill up, right? And then you make it safe, right? You make it very safe. 3 dribble limit.
Yeah.
And then you pick your spot. After you score a bucket, you pick your spot. So you either go. So it's like the way the next chapter does it, right? You got to go. You start top of the key.
Yeah.
Right. You
Nah,
score,
I got you.
right? You score. Okay, you pick your wing spot where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
That to me, that would be interesting. One, two, it would enhance the game. One, because you're teaching fundamentals too.
Yeah.
So it's like you're showing the youth, okay, hey, this is how you score off 1 or 2 dribbles. This is proper footwork. Three, it would cause so much excitement. Let's say if a guy like Kevin Durant joins.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you pick 10 of the best one-on-one players, right? So who do we think? Give me your 5, and I'll give you my 5. Best one-on-one guys in the league.
Yeah. Kyrie Irving.
Right?
Um, I think Devin Booker is up there.
Right?
I think James Harden is up there.
Right? Give me right.
For shits and Donovan Mitchell, we go
right.
guard.
Right. He
and then for like a big man, just to get a big man going in there. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck with my boy Bam out of bio. I heard Michael.
No,
Beasley.
listen. Bam got bad work.
Michael Beasley said
you can have like a Bam
game is crazy.
Right. We can have Bam, Evan Mobley.
Yeah,
right. That can be a thing, right? And then obviously you'd have Kevin Durant, right? I'd have like a
And the thing is, really, you don't have to put. Just because Bam can do it, you don't have to favor to the big man. Like Bam could play with the guard,
right?
You know
exactly. Same with like the wing players, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to see a guy like Tatum in there.
I'd love to see Kawhi
right.
To 3 dribble Kawhi, you're not stopping
right.
that. Bing, bing, bing. That's
give
it.
Me Ant, right? Give me Ant. Give me a guy like give me Cade and SGA.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what this flirts with too? Like you get 1 or 2 good years out of this, and then you start flirting with the idea of like a Legends tournament. Which Legends want to come out and play with the one?
Right,
and like their own. It's like it's not versus the NBA guys, but if you want, you might see Vince Carter versus T Mac.
That would be fun. Or Jamal, or give me Jamal Crawford versus someone else.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's guys out there that still got some hoop. D Wade versus Jamal Crawford. Like I'd pay to see that, bro. I'd pay to see
right. That. And I just think the success of the next chapter and that whole YouTube one-on-one space.
The NBA needs to pay them boys to curate that in All-Star Weekend. That's what the conversation.
That's the thing, right? Like I said, you got to put a mill up.
Yeah.
You'd have.
Friga is willing to do anything. Willing to do anything to get that NBA check and curate some All-Star Weekend vibes.
Right. You would have to do like that's the only to me, or they would have to separate it via you do 2 guards, 2 wings,
2
front court players. You can do it that way. You can whatever for $1 million, right? Or you can have like a G League guy in there too. You can put a G League guy in there.
Yeah, hungry as shit.
Right?
Hungry as shit. But I don't know if you can because, like, with the Mac McClung thing with the dunk contest, they was hating on him. They're like, look, but the difference is that they knew if Mac McClung was in the dunk contest, they wasn't going to win it. So it's different with the one-on-one because I'm sure NBA players like, I ain't going to let G Leaguer school me. But G Leaguer coming in there hungry as shit.
Right, exactly. So it's like you kind of have that situation. I do want the one-on-one tournament. I've been saying that they should have this for years, though.
Yeah.
Because to me, like that's been a whole big thing with the space on YouTube now. So it's like even with the 3-on-3 basketball now, right? So it's like that's an interesting take that I want. And I think NBC will push it.
Yeah. NBC is going to try their hardest. I know what they're producing right now as far as NBA. I mean, next level. We see it all the time. Like Sunday Night Football is an amazing production.
They got Sunday Night Basketball now.
Production, and I saw Sunday Night Basketball. I'm like,
dude, the monopoly NBC has on sports.
Did you see the intro to the All-Star Weekend? Like they played the live. I forgot his name.
Round Ball Rock, bro.
Yeah, and it's like, nah, they're going crazy. The intros was like a live orchestra.
Well, NBA and NBC, it's always had an allure to it.
Yeah,
because they really dramatized basketball. Because when you look at NBA and NBC, it came at the height of Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So you kind of and it dwindled. It stopped at the Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan era. Yeah. So like it kind of left where basketball is also still peaking too.
Yeah.
So it's like you kind of still have to sell that to the people too, because we're old enough to remember NBA and NBC, but the younger generation doesn't remember that. So the fact that they're able to still like cater to both groups is actually kind of amazing with what they've been able to do. Now they're getting baseball again.
NBC's getting baseball this year or next year?
They're getting Sunday Night Baseball.
Oh, wow. Oh, correct. ESPN doesn't have baseball anymore on Sunday night. You're right.
So they have Sunday Night
I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine. And I don't know. It's something about Mike Tirico. I think Mike Tirico is a freaking goat.
First baseball game on NBC is Mets-Dodgers.
Wow.
Like, how beautiful does it get for them?
Is that summertime, or are they doing that like when the season starts?
March.
Oh, wow.
That's March.
That's fire.
So yeah, that's what's going on, man. But
hey, I do want to wrap up All-Star Weekend real quick. Let's
talk about Sunday night though.
Sunday is what I'm saying. Like,
yo,
the old heads, they got tired, and shout out to them. They was tired. Like,
yo, Jalen Brunson, he got to be on the ban list now, man. That boy.
Hey, by the way, shout out to the chat, man. I see the chat right here. Shout out to the chat. Postal Flair, Upper Class Arms, Ray Cam. Everybody showing love. So shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all listening.
But now I want to ask you a question now. Yeah. Right. This whole face of the league thing, right? Because we all know
Anthony Edwards, man. Go ahead. What's the question?
You truly think it's Anthony Edwards?
I think it should be. I think we should look at him as the face of the league. Like, okay, he's our American hero. All right. Victor Wembanyama's league is his league. Like, it's his league. He's gonna dominate the league. He's gonna be the best player in the league for some time. But as the American, as the fan of everybody, I don't want to make this like, I'm not a fucking. I love Victor Wembanyama. Let's be clear, but for the NBA as an American sport, or sport originated here, it's like we want to have our pride, right? We want to have our it was meaningful for the stripes, for the stars to play the stripes as opposed to stars to play in the world, because it's like, yeah, look who's in the championship. You know what I'm saying? We run it. And so that's just a little prideful for us. But yeah, I think Anthony Edwards is who I look to as the face of the league. He has the charisma. He has the game. He talks the shit. He walks the walk. He can dunk on you. He can shoot the three-pointer. Right, he can do everything on the basketball.
His game is very appealing.
Yeah. And he sells himself, He needs to be on 2K27. I don't know what we're waiting for.
And also too, I think, to me, in terms of like sneaker wise too, just his campaigns.
Hey, them Hell Stars is crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, but also too, you got to look at the camp.
His first ad was crazy. Coming at Cameron, first ad.
The first and the second campaign runs for the AE 1 and 2 have been brilliant. I would say we want the face. I say the fans want the face to be Anthony Edwards, but I don't think the league wants the face to be Anthony Edwards, if that makes any sense.
Here's my thing, and
that's the main debate too, because the NBA, to me, they want to grow themselves globally, right? So it's like,
you're saying they want it to be an international face of the league?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Because think about it, right?
Look at this, could be you. It's like a walking billboard for like.
Right. I mean, Wemby's an anomaly, right? Yeah. But also to think about how Wemby has been shown. We've known about Wemby since he was 16 years old.
Yeah, I know they showed a clip the other day on TV. I said, "Damn, y'all remember that video?"
Right, when he was 16.
Like, damn.
Right? It's kind of like it's more LeBron is like the seed of it, but like to me he's the global version of that.
Yeah.
To where he's the most sure thing foreign prospect we've ever seen in NBA history. Where out the gate you knew he was going to be special, right? So I do think the way the league is trending now, right? Whereas if you have all these international guys, you have like the Giannis's and you have the Wembys and you have the Lukas and you have the Jokic's, right? So the SGAs, right? The last 5 MVPs have been all foreign players.
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's trending that way again too.
I mean, look, the best 2 players in the league at Jokic and Giannis, right?
Right.
And then you start looking at like, and then it's SGA,
SGA, right? It's right. It's SGA. So it's like you kind of have, even though I don't consider SGA a foreign player. I
Fair
don't.
enough. I mean, he grew up in Canada. I mean, he definitely been in America for some time. You know,
He's
like
been in America for some time, but
yeah.
he was big on the prep scene. If you knew the prep scene,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like he did a lot of work over here, opposed to like a Wemby or a Luka
or a
Jokic,
Giannis or Jokic, right? So, but also too, you have to look at the way the league has been post the Dream Team, right? We've had these foreign guys come in the league and do great things. So I think Wemby is the full culmination of that. So it's like you have that going too, and also too, Wemby sells himself, bro. Wemby's
because he talks his shit.
Talks his shit, and he's very competitive.
And bro, he's 7. Like, I like the fact that he knows he's an alien. You know, like he takes that and he owns it, and he's like, "Yeah, y'all never seen something like this. Let me show y'all something."
Him doing the alien for the autographs, like that. Come on. So it's like the league. To me, I do think the league wants those 2 guys to be it, and I think Cooper's a wild card, just because of one, obviously he's white. 2, I'd say his game, the type of game that he has. It's marketable, but it's also very like it's very team oriented.
For sure,
this game is very team oriented.
Sounds like a fun way to say boring.
It's not boring, but it's like the way that it's not really boring because it's more so who he's surrounded by right now, right? Yeah. But I do think it's more so if like when he matures. We got to look at his game 2-3 years down the line, right?
I mean, bro, from last year to now is
right. It means gained 10 pounds.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think he's the wild card. And then also, too, you have these freshmen, that are in college now coming up, too. So we don't even know what those guys are going to be like. So, like I said, these next 4 years are so.
Yeah, we got a nice top 5 of Americans that's coming in this league next year, and I'm excited to see him.
Got 6, bro.
Yeah, for sure. There's a guaranteed 4 or 5, but we could go to 7, 8. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get a good haul from this draft, so that'll be fun to watch this summer. I wanted to just transition here into some more NBA news before I get into the, I guess, 3/4. We're not midway. We're like 3/4 way. Superlatives. Let's talk MVP. Coach of the year and stuff. But real quick, I don't know if you heard about this LaMelo Ball situation, getting a crash, and apparently he was unhurt. Somebody was hurt, a woman. So it says crash happened Wednesday afternoon in Uptown Charlotte, shortly after Hornets practice, with dash cam video showing Ball's SUV swerving into the intersection and slamming into a sedan. Kia driver, a woman, received treatment for non-life-threatening injuries and expected to fully recover, while Ball hopped into a waiting Lamborghini and left the scene. Police have not yet determined fault or issued details, but league sources confirm Ball sustained no injuries and should be ready for Thursday night's game. It's obviously a serious situation in the sense of like, this is a car accident.
Glad she's okay.
Right? Glad she's okay. Footage. LaMelo Ball. Glad she's okay for sure. Glad everybody involved is okay. I'm not going to place any blame on anybody. I mean, I don't know who's in the wrong here. I just heard about this video.
We've seen those clips of LaMelo leaving the arena.
But I'll never act like I don't have any context to situations, right? So, yeah, LaMelo Ball is a habitual swerve on that corner. Whoa, like, bitch, slow the fuck down, first of all. Second of all, understand your responsibility in this world. It's not to be driving the nicest car or driving it fast. It's to be the fucking best point guard that the Charlotte Hornets has ever had in their franchise's history and to win games like they never have before, much like you guys are doing. You guys are the Heat, the Hawks, and the Bulls are all mad that you guys are trying to get some stock in the play-in. This is our stuff. But
I'm so
shout out to Charlotte.
Yeah, shout out to Charlotte, man.
But in all seriousness, Reed, it's like, what the fuck is this, bro? You know? And I hope, I don't know, man. Like, it's just sad. It's just sad. Like, to see that. Well, I know that this stems from irresponsibility, is all I'm gonna say. Like,
oh yeah, 100%. Like, I don't want to jump the gun, but like, we've seen those videos.
It's hard not to when you have a compilation video. Yeah, like there's a compilation for like a minute long of you just pulling out of the practice arena, running red light. And you expect that us as fans wouldn't assume you might have been at fault here? Hey, if you're not, you're not. But you also left. And so let's not ignore that. Let's not act like, bro, who gets in a car accident and leaves? At fault or not? Like, were you drunk? And I'm not putting this on him. These are questions I'm sure that would be asked of me. You know, if I don't think that if I got in a hit and run, I'd be available for Thursday's game at fucking Charlotte. You know, like, I think that somebody would want to come to my house for questioning, right? There's some questioning before I go to that game. And so obviously, you know, with money, you can do all things, but it's just, I hope to see this man just mature. And this goes to that conversation we was having off air where, you know, if Charlotte eventually is going to have to make a decision and, you know, probably like move forward without LaMelo Ball. But reasons like this is why I can't defend it. Like, as much as I would like to see, again, I told you, I want to see Concanepo, Brandon Miller, and LaMelo Ball in 3 years. Like, that looks like it could be something. But, bro, I with shit like this, man, it's just so immature and so tough, like, man. What are you doing, bro?
Tough, man. It's really tough because it's like, especially with the Hornets now, too, like, this might be the first glimpse of like positivity and any good things we've seen from the Hornets since probably when the 90s, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, you kind of don't want to destroy the momentum with that. So, you know, I hope first of all, I hope the victim's all right. That's the main thing. But also too, you know, that compilation video doesn't help him either. It just doesn't help him. But I want to ask you.
I would be petty and pull it up, but I'm not gonna do that.
Nah, don't do that. We ain't doing that. But I want to ask you, man. Let's do the superlatives, man.
Hold on, real quick, because we're gonna end off with the superlatives. I got one more thing for you. That shout out to my cousin Lou wants to hear our opinion on this. UCLA head coach Mick Cronin. We all saw the video. Yo. You know, Steven Jamerson, he gets thrown out of the game, not by the ref, not because of 2 technical fouls, not because of a flagrant 2, but because of a hard foul on a chase down fast break attempt at a block.
All right, so
his coach throws him out.
All right, so they're down 27.
So let's take a look here. They're down 27. Go ahead, Ray.
All right, so they're down 27. Okay.
They're showing the after right here.
4 minutes into the game.
Bro's so, like, wait, what? I mean, what? Kicked what? Wait, you're kicking me off the game at a game that I tried. This is a team, by the way, that this gentleman apparently tried to walk onto at Michigan State, and they denied it. And so now he's on the road playing hard. Let's run the clip. Playing hard. And that's a hard foul. I mean,
that's a hard foul.
That's a good hard foul.
That's a good hard foul.
But this is basketball. I love hard fouls.
That's a flagrant 1. Fair.
But arguably, yeah, there's wind up, right? Because it's like, I mean, I don't know, Reed, bro. The man going for the ball. Like,
wait.
Make a play on the ball is
actually,
the rule for flagrant. Did he make a play on the ball? I was saying, like, it's a fucking block.
It's a foul, but it's a hard foul. It's a hard foul.
But what I think sparked all this is the fact that Michigan State forward gets up with you see Michigan State's forward gets up with some animosity, right? And he looks at bro like, bro, are you crazy? Why would you do that? And bro just matches energy like, bro, it's a hard foul. Get out my face. I'm in your face. So like, I don't know if there's a previous history that we don't know about Jamerson and coach, but I think it was a little uncalled for.
But also, too, Mick Cronin has had this thing about, trying to teach his players a lesson.
Yeah.
That's always been one of his things. I mean, he did it at Xavier. He did it at the previous school he was at.
Yeah.
So, I mean, also, too, they
asked Tom Izzo about it. Tom Izzo's like, I don't know, but sounds like Mick.
Right. Sounds like Mick. Right.
He's definitely
he's a hard ass, but also, too, you got to look at UCLA's season, too. UCLA has kind of underachieved this season for where their talent level is. Granted, they're still fighting for an NCAA tournament bid, and they could still get in the NCAA tournament. The Big Ten hasn't been all that great this year, but they still kind of underachieved, especially for a blue blood program like UCLA. That's always expected to be in the national championship hunt every year, right? So, that could also be part of the frustration with it too.
Yeah, but man, I think it's no excuse, man. Like, first of all, because clearly it's not just the player he has this animosity towards. I mean, post game, the reporter's asking him a question. They're going back and forth. And he says, "Are you raising your voice at me?"
Right.
The reporter's like, "No, I'm not." He's like,
Mick Cronin he's always been he's had instances of him just getting out of character. So that's how I looked at it for real. Yeah. I mean, he's done this, like I said, since Xavier, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not going to get into good coach, bad coach. But at the same time, part of being a coach is not just X's and O's. It's not just making players run suicides and do wall squats for discipline. It's teaching them how to become better men, building their character. And, in the long run, maybe this does something good for Jamerson. But that wasn't a good look. I don't know. I don't like that. And we're seeing coaches right now in college basketball kind of start spiraling. We just saw K-State have to fire their head coach after a crazy press conference and some.
But I mean, listen,
words.
But shame on the school for that. So I don't know.
I know. I agree.
I don't know if you know, right? So Kansas State, they have a slander clause against their players.
Yes.
In their contract
which is crazy.
Coaches, for all coaches. So for all coaches. So even Bill Snyder has one. And he's a coaching OG. And the fact that he's never been fired for criticizing his players is actually kind of hilarious. But Tang does. But
I will say though, Rio's he did cross the line. He did. And
you think he did? You think?
Yeah, because it's one thing to call out your players, but it's also one thing to make us feel like we're in the locker room. And it's that's the type of shit you got to tell them to their face. You're telling us, and I'm not saying don't come to the media or the podium with any type of smoke, because of course you can have smoke for your guys, but you're talking about a lot of these guys are not going to be playing with this jersey on next year. A lot of these guys don't deserve to wear this jersey. And it's brother, you recruited these kids.
Right.
So, this isn't a team you just started coaching this year. This is your team. You built this, your program. And this is what you guys are doing. 30-point fucking ass whoopings at home multiple times.
And it sucks though, because Tang is a good coach though.
He is, and that's what's fucked up about the clause, because they fired him for cause. They were you know what? We could get up out of this deal real quick, and we could just start this chapter over right now. If they didn't have a way to fire him for cause, he would have still been a coach right now for sure. And so that's why it's fucked up, because he didn't what he did was technically a fireable offense. If you want to, you could work with that though. I wouldn't have fired him. I think he was wild. I think he was wild.
Right,
but I wouldn't have fired him for it.
His approach was low key crazy. However, I would say the message wasn't.
No.
Right. To me, the message wasn't.
And sorry to cut you off again, but they were just interviewing some other. I forgot what coach it was. And they asked him like, "Yo, when your guys aren't, like when they're just pissing off or like you can't get, what do you tell? You tell them, bro, you're getting freaking paid more than people in this room. You know what I'm saying? Like, act like it." And so I do believe that these coaches should have more lenience in how they talk to their players,
especially
because they're getting paid, bro. They're getting paid more than the coach at a lot of times. And so it's like, you're gonna come into my locker room or come into the gym and play for my team and put out this effort, knowing that I went to bat for you to pay you this amount to be here. Like, absolutely insane. And so the coach, you can't fault him for recruiting a guy who cared and was playing hard and worked hard until most recently, Right. However, you still got to take the shit to the chin and you got to know how to address it. It's about too, what you say.
And also, too, it's
or how you say it.
And also, too, it's the type of school he's at, too. Kansas State is relatively a basketball mainstay.
Yeah, it's all they got. So, I mean, football, within the last 5 years, like they've been playing better.
Bill Snyder gets one good team every 6 years.
Yeah, but basketball, that's a historically basketball.
That's their bread and butter, basketball. So it's like when that's not going for you, then what else? What else is?
Yeah. So, hey man, he's a fired fuck. I had to say it. Let's talk about the NBA superlatives. Before we get out of here, I want to know who you got as MVP, Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year. Let's keep in mind, to win these awards, you got to play at least 65 games. I believe Wembanyama is at like 4 more games, and he's clipped if he misses 4 more games. So he's probably not going to be in that award race. Who do you got as MVP, though? Let's start right there. No.
MVP.
Nah, we're going to save that. We'll save
that.
Let's go with the Rookie of the Year here. Let's go with the Rookie of the Year here.
Okay, Rookie of the Year, believe it or not, I mean, although Cooper's the popular choice, I got Con Knuckle, bro. Now, I'll say this, though. The reason why, Con is on a team that has a bunch of good, bad shot makers, right? Analytic, right? And the fact that he's almost damn near shooting 50, 40, 90 on a team like that, and right now, the Hornets are playing meaningful basketball.
Yeah.
Every game counts for them now.
Yeah.
So, and he, to me, has been the X factor of that. Especially when there's been games where Miller's been out for a point of the season. LaMelo's been out for a point of the season. He's been the mainstay of the Hornets and their ascension. So I do think that he is the Rookie of the Year. I mean, granted, I think Cooper is the better overall talent.
Right.
But if we're talking in terms of just overall team impact and what off the bat, what they've been doing. I mean, VJ's in that conversation as well.
Absolutely.
But Con Knuckle. And to me, I don't know if the race is going to be close between Con and Cooper. I don't think it should be close.
It's not. Wait. Towards Con?
Towards Con. I don't think just because. I mean, just because my thing is. I mean, I mean, granted, we look at teams. I mean, because granted, now they're giving Rookie of the Year as of late to the guys with team success, right? Mm-hmm. As of late, right? So,
but here, okay, I'm gonna let you.
If they're gonna keep that trend, then yeah. But granted, although I think Cooper is going to win the award by the writers, I do think Con's the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at that at all. Like, Con Knuckle, what is he, 4th overall this year out the draft?
4th.
A lot of people that didn't watch college basketball last year didn't know what they were going to get out of Con Knuckle. They didn't know like what kind of game he has, and Con Knuckle is not the white boy game, no. Con Knuckle is a 3-level scorer who plays hard on both sides. Not your best defender, but he plays hard on both sides. But he has footwork, he has fundamentals, he has IQ, and he gets to his spot. And he has a silky smooth jumper. So, like, what I'm looking at with him and with Coop, it's like, bro, in 5 years, bro, these boys gonna have to team back up together. Because I got Cooper Flag winning Rookie of the Year. I think that the NBA knows they're going to give him the award. His first pick of the draft. There's no way that they hyped him up this much and he doesn't win the award. Now we go to the deserving part of it. I do believe he's totally deserving of it, averaging 20 a game, 6 rebounds,
100%,
and 4 assists.
And I will say, to Cooper's defense, though, every primetime game that he's played, he showed up. He showed up.
About
he showed up.
Big time moments, And so, yes, the Mavericks, unfortunately, aren't contenders. They just put out that Kyrie Irving's going to sit out the rest of the year to continue to work on himself and get ready for next year. And he probably gets traded next year. I don't see Kyrie Irving staying.
So. I think they.
I mean, I don't know if he wants to be in Dallas, I guess, but
I think they'll experiment because
I think it can be great, but I thought they was going to keep AD, and whatever. I'm not even getting into Dallas. Rookie of the Year, I like Cooper Flag. He's showing us that right now at 20 years old or 19, 20 years old, like what he's going to do when he's 28, 27, I'm telling you right now is going to be it's not going to look like LeBron, but he's going to dominate the games like LeBron in 5-6 years from now. I'm telling you. And it's just obvious to me because he's another 3-level scorer. He's only shooting 30% from the 3. So I'm not going to
I don't look at the 3-point number, the 3-point.
But he's not scared to take the shot, first of all. And he can hit the shot. He's not scared of the moment. He knows how to affect the game in different ways other than just scoring. And so for me, as a total package, I think he's deserving of it right now. I love what Concaneppo's doing. I think that also Concanepo had moments where it was like the first month and a half of the season, we didn't even really – like, not to say he wasn't playing good at all, but there wasn't a rhythm. Cooper Flag, to me, hit the ground running, and he's been playing good. And Canepo is kind of caught up to that.
Right, which also makes it a very interesting point for that 2028 Olympic team.
Now, I think that's a stretch though, because I mean, Cooper Flag,
You don't think Coop? Okay,
wait, you're saying Coop and Concanepo or just Cooper Flag?
Oh hell yeah, they're both going to be on the team. I think.
I don't know that Concanepo is going to be on the team, and I would hope he is. Great, okay, but I think there's that NBA favoritism. I think there's that seniority.
Right. But I think with those years leading on, I would say Ant, Book, and Cade and Bam are going to be the elders.
And now they're playing with Bam's name. Because I ain't even see him on the little who gonna play defense? Jalen Duran and who else?
Right. But I'm saying those are the elders. Those are the elders you got, and then who fills in those spots?
But how many guards do you take?
Right, because Chet. Okay, so we'll put Chet in there. I think Chet will make the team. Chet's gonna make the team, and then you got Coop, you got 8. You see, and we can go even. You got Coop, you got AJ, you got Con,
and Con is front court, right? Con is at the 3.
Con's a 3. So he's interchangeable. He's a 2. He's a 2. So you got Coop. We could put AJ in there. We'll throw him in there. I think he'll get consideration too.
You think AJ's gonna get in there, bro? I think that's too young. I think that the NBA, the USA team is gonna try to go for the vet. What are we in right now? 2026. In 2 years from now, you don't think Donovan Mitchell is gonna make the team?
No, he'll make the team. But I'm saying a lot of those young guys will get invites, and I think those young guys they'll make the core 24. So
okay. I get what you're saying.
Surprised if they're in that core 24.
Yeah, okay. I'm with that.
But now I want to ask you, Coach of the Year. Who's your coach?
Thank you for bringing this back.
This is the most interesting debate right now because
I'll tell you what. I don't know it's a big debate. And I hate to say this because I don't really even fuck with this guy. Just as a basketball fan, I think he's a great coach. I think he's a mastermind. He knows exactly what he's doing. But just as a basketball fan, I'm a Heat fan, so it's Joe Mazzulla and what he's doing with this Boston Celtics team, keeping them in second place, second or third, in the East, Jason Tatum's down. Jaylen Brown has a bigger task at hand. He's got to, interchange guys like Simons and Gonzalez and shout out to Queta. Like Boston is just winning game. It seems like they didn't like. We noticed they lost a step to start the season, and I would say probably like by before Christmas, like even no, way before Christmas, like right after Thanksgiving ish. December start.
When they hit their stride, yeah.
Like, boy, they just been winning like regular. And I don't look at Boston now when I see Boston on the schedule or on prime time. I'm not like no Tatum. You don't think about no Tatum. Because no Tatum, that's all right. That's what they're doing this year. No Tatum.
Right. And I'd say, I mean, I agree with you. I don't agree with the coach of the year, but I do agree with Boston in terms of just Jaylen Brown's ascension. And I'll talk about Jaylen Brown later on because he's my MVP. He's my MVP. Sorry. If we just look at
who's your coach of the year?
JB Bickerstaff.
Okay.
And the reason why I will say this too is because if we look at the Pistons, right, and what they were last year to this year, right? The only thing the Pistons lacked last year was what? 3-point shooting, right? And what did they get? They got shooters now with Cade and Duran, and you have those young guys and Duncan, right? And so the thing that makes Detroit interesting is that they play 10 guys.
Yeah,
they play 10 guys, and they're all synced in and they're all locked in too. And just the fact that they move like such a string defensively is like such it's a testament to him. Because everywhere JB's gone, they've improved and they've won. To me, he should have won Coach of the Year.
When was it? When he went? Yeah.
When they had when they had all those 7-footers on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he was able to make that work with Ricky Rubio. So it's like the fact that he's able to just wherever he's gone, he's able to produce and win. I feel as if the Pistons' job has been a culmination of that too. Not to mention they're still paying Monty Williams, right? They still were hit with a salary. They still were hit with a salary cap hit, right? Because they still were paying. They still haven't got rid of the Blake Griffin deal, right? So and they still were paying Andre Drummond, right? And the fact that they were able to draft well with those pieces, right? With Troy Weaver, right? And with that whole mess, that they were able to just overcome that, and you're able to get a guy like Cade, you're able to get a guy like Jalen Duran, right? You're able to hit the G League and get a guy like Chris Jenkins,
Marcus Sasser,
right? Sasser, who Ron Holland, right? Holland, who to me is the X factor because let's say if you want an extra piece, right?
Yeah,
he's one of the main people that you're going to call.
Yeah,
for him. So it's like they have pieces to where they can make a trade if they want to make a trade. If they want to build up what they have off this year to next year, let's say they lose in the conference finals to a team like the Knicks or they lose to Boston, right? You have a building block to build off of and to trade, right? But now what makes Detroit interesting is that the second apron issue, right, which plagues a lot of these younger teams. Right now, it's a matter of who are you going to keep and versus who are you going to pay, right? So as long as the Pistons make the right decision on who they're going to keep and who they're able to pay in order to maximize, this sustained success that they've had over the past 3 years, I'd say, right, 2 years, right? Yeah. That's the main thing. But I do say Mitch Johnson has also a case too. But if from a Vegas perspective, your pick is the best.
Yeah.
So
but I like Bickerstaff. I'm not mad at Bickerstaff.
If I'm gonna gamble, I'm going Missoula. But if I'm going just straight off the semantics of the NBA season and what everything has transpired, got to go Bickerstaff.
Awesome. So, Defensive Player of the Year again. This award is only given to those who can play at least 65 games. the person who deserves it and the best defensive player in the league is Victor Wembanyama. Is no
Right.
question.
Well, right. So yeah, he's our winner. He's
Thank
our
you, bro.
winner.
I didn't even want to look at the other names,
He's
and,
our
and
winner.
I didn't want to say the other name that came to mind. Like,
But
like Chet Holmgren. Come on, bro.
it's between Chet and Rudy Gobert.
And Rudy, bro. Give the fucking award to Bam Adebayo for all the years you guys snubbed him. How
Yeah,
about
honestly,
that? Like,
he
what the
deserves
fuck,
it.
man?
But
Whatever. DPOY, you guys will figure it out. Let's get to the MVP real quick because this is the more fun trophy.
I want to ask you first.
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you first.
You want to know my MVP?
Yeah, bro.
My thing is like I'm like team if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right?
Okay.
And bro, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's numbers. I mean, I'm gonna pull up the stats so we know I ain't capping. This is no kizzy. SGA stats, right? So bro is averaging 31 on 55% shooting, 39% from the line, 89 from the free throw line. He's almost in the 40, 50, 90 club, averaging 4.5 rebounds and 6.5 assists with 1.5 steals a game. Brother, OKC, the number one team in the West, best team in the league, best player in the game. You got to give it to him. Like, I get how you can find another way to put it, but to me, what we're seeing right now, based on who qualifies for this award, I'm going to be interested to see what your Jaylen Brown argument consists of. And I'm not even going to dispute it. I just want to hear it. Because how do you give that to Jaylen Brown over SGA?
Now, you have to look. Now, how I view MVP, right? I look at the best. They have the circumstance, right? It's circumstance, right? So, given the circumstances that the Celtics were given early in the year, right? You're without arguably a top 5 player in the league, right? You went out the year before. You go out, right? Granted, you don't go out on a solid note. You're the defending champs, right? You don't go out on a solid note, right? Now,
how'd they go out?
I mean, listen,
50 piece.
50 piece. 50 piece.
That's the coach of the year. No, I'm playing.
Right, but hey, I'll let you get that off. You deserve that. Nah, you had to get that off. I'll give you that. I will listen. But now, I hope you know that Boston was picked. Vegas had them at 43.5
wins.
Yeah. Vegas had them at 43.5, and they're gonna break that record.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, they're probably won 30 games, 32 games already.
32, right? They're easily gonna break that record, right? We thought that Boston was gonna mail this season in, right? Mm-hmm. They still got their picks, right? They lost 74% of their scoring, right? They didn't want to go into the second apron, right? And they didn't want to spend any money this year. This is the first time I've seen the Celtics penny pinch.
Yeah.
And I probably since the early 2000s, right? Now, with Mazzulla, right? Granted, he's a good coach, right? Who has been the main catalyst for them offensively and defensively for that team?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. And people have given so much shit about the Jaylen Brown contract. Oh, how do you get his money? Yada 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 yada. He's proving his contract. He's proving his contract. To me, right now, he is the best small forward in basketball right now. Today, as of today. So if you, and I feel as if that has to be rewarded, right? We look at Boston's success this year. He's been a main part of it, right? Mm-hmm. They're only 3 games out from the first seed, from the number 1 seed. So let's say if Boston does get the number 1 seed, right? Then the conversation becomes interesting, because then it becomes, okay, well, who's been a main part of their ascension, right? Their most consistent player has been Jaylen Brown. His scoring has gone up. His rebounding has gone up. His assist totals have gone up. This is his most efficient season he's had. Right? And they're winning.
Yeah.
When we didn't expect them to win at all. When we expect them to be a playoff team, yes, we did. But did we expect them to be number 2 in the East?
Right.
In the middle of February? No.
Right. I mean, honestly, I don't know that we expected them to be a playoff team. Like, we expected them to compete for the playoffs.
Right. Like I said, Vegas had 43.
Yeah, I give you that. I mean, I like the compelling argument. I do think that Shea's game is just undeniable. You know, like
do you think? Now, I want to ask you: do you think voter fatigue will set in? Right, because he's finished second.
I don't think that. I think it's still early. I think he still get his back to back. Like, they're gonna give him his back to back. You know, especially like. Here's my thing. I'm not mad at the Jaylen Brown argument, right? And I'm not like, no, it has to go to Shea. But like, Shea is so deserving. Like, we can't. And I'm not saying you are, but you can't dismiss 31.8 a game night in.
Oh no, you can't at all. No, not
6
at all.
assists, 4 rebounds, playing both sides of the ball, and OKC is sustaining everything we thought they would do since last year. They've done this for 150 games now. You know what I'm saying?
And I think they're better.
And so if Shea over the course of 120 games is averaging 30 to 32 points, you know, it's like and winning and the best team in the league and plays defense, it's hard for me to, like, you know, as much as I think the Coach of the Year award is where you go JB Bickerstaff, circumstance, you know, or like
Joe Mazzulla. Right.
You look at Mike Vrabel, and you look at, you know, guys in the NFL that were deserving of the award.
The schedule. Come on, bro. The schedule.
Fair. chill.
The schedule.
Nah, but, you know, it's like, but when the obvious answer is there too, bro, let's not look too far. Like, we trying to make up the Jaylen Brown shit, respectfully. You have a good argument. Look, it's a good argument, but like, they don't had to search for that one. Like, bro, SGA doing that shit in our face. And now I want to say, like, he better get back on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want him to see him just dragging this injury and letting Spurs take the 1 seed. Like, now the conversation can shift. We're here at, you know, 3/4 of the way. We're you know, at 50,
right.
What, 50 games, you know,
yeah, we're about
65 games in.
60% of the season.
We still have time to change the conversation, or my opinion. Fair. But as of right now, I'm jacking.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I'm just saying, to me, like,
that was interesting.
Circumstance matters. Circumstance and the semantics matter, especially for what. And you can make an argument that Jaylen Brown has been the best player in the East.
Swinging Athletes, by the way, shout out to Swinging Athletes tapping in. They said they got some Holland heat as far as sports cards go. So
yes, sir.
Oh, he probably got the Ron Hollins. What you talking about? The Ron Holland, maybe?
Yo,
that'd be. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta see that. Follow us on Twitter at ATS Pod and send me that picture, man. ATS Pod. I want to see that. Them sports cards, man. We gotta tap in with Swinging Athletics. Yo, Ree, man, we got the sports superlatives out the way. You know, we talked some college basketball. We talked some NBA. We talked some All-Star Weekend and stuff like that. We're gonna get back into this maybe later this week if we can. If not, top of next week. But I appreciate you taking the time, like I said, to join me and talk some shit and do it for the listeners. You know, that's what we do it for.
Yo, 100%, man. Shout out all the listeners that tapped into the live, man. Yo, Ju, always a pleasure. You know, when you bring me on, brother. I love the show, man. I love the show. We didn't get into our banter, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Cuse guy. He's a Duke guy. You know, they
ain't nothing to talk about, bro. Well, nothing to talk about. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, this is good. This is good.
March will be here soon.
I'm anti black men getting fired.
Hey,
but Autry, he got to go.
Shit. Y'all should get the guy from K-State.
Nah, listen.
He said nah.
Listen, and I'm going to say this too for Syracuse basketball, man. There's no reason why we should be this ass. Zero reason why we should be this ass. We are a basketball blue blood. We are a mainstay.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, East Coast basketball, we are one of the pillars of that, bro. It's UConn,
I'll tell
us,
you what, brother.
and St.
ACC
John.
basketball. With that
Then
being
St.
said,
John.
I hope Kai and Anthony has a successful, great career. But he
Listen,
had to he
he
had
might
to sit up
transfer,
in
bro.
that Cameron indoor.
He
Yeah, I
might
mean,
transfer,
they
bro.
playing with him right now. So, but look, I'm gonna let you go. For all who celebrate, happy Ash Wednesday,
Yes, sir.
Ramadan Kareem. And yeah, y'all have a great day. And until next time.